Okay, what's up? So basically wasn't gonna film any of this, but I don't know, I just decided, fuck it, let's just film it. So basically what I'm building right now is a 1999 Preza L with a complete 2006 WRX drivetrain, everything. So I've already gotten about 50% of it done. Um, all that's left is rear subframe, axles, driveline, and then the rest of the interior wiring. I'm doing complete from front to back, 2006 WRX, everything. Dash, um, switches, the freaking, I'm forgetting the, literally just everything that is from the 2006 car, and this is from a wagon. It's getting bolted straight up to my 99 Impreza L, brakes and all. Literally the full, I don't even know why I keep talking about details. The full 2006 WRX. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys what I've completed so far, and I guess I can show you little things that I've done, but anyways, here you go. So this is the dash in the car. This is fully bolted down. No issues. So yes, you do get a very small gap here, but it's actually a lot better than what most people have. Most people will have, you know, like about an inch and a half of a gap. But the way you fix that is there's tabs on the back, on the inside of this, that mount to the firewall. So what you do is, I wonder if I have a piece. Yes, I do. So this is one of those tabs. This tab should essentially bolt to the firewall from the top of the dash. You do not need these. These aren't crucial. There's two of these, one on each side of on the opposite sides of the dash on the back. And then there's one spike, that's your guide point that goes into the actual firewall. On the old Impreza dash, there's two of those in the center. And then there's two of these mounts on the sides, but on the WRX there's only one in the center and then two of these on the side. So all you gotta do is trim those off, flush with the dash, and when you put the dash in, it fits perfect. And then with the dash bar, so that's the Impreza dash bar. The GD dash bar is different. It's a lot more straight. Well, it is straight. The mounting holes on the sides are totally different. But all you do is, I don't think I have a napkin. So you basically put the Impreza dash bar on the ground on a piece of paper and spray paint around where the holes are. That creates your template. And then for the other side, you do the same thing. Well, the way I did it was a lot different, but it works perfect. And the dash bolts up literally perfect. And this full HVAC controls, heater core, literally everything. So this fuse box doesn't quite fit just right. The bottom hole lines up where it should, but the top doesn't, and that's only because this hole doesn't sink in. So I plan to either drill that out or make a bracket for this to where it reaches, so that way that's perfectly in place. It's really hard to like cut it perfect. Even if you make the template from the other side, it's a little bit different, so it's really hard. But I have the WRX trans in, WRX cross member in. Literally everything bolts up like perfectly. As you can see, they're nice. I gotta clean that all up. This is the harness. It fits just fine in here. That's the bend on the old one. I used the OEM factory from the Impreza. That one doesn't quite fit because the harness is a little bit fatter. There's more accessories on it. Other side, all I have to do for this side is create a mounting point for the new airbag sensors for the front. Now, I know you guys are worried about, oh, well, won't it, you know, affect it? You know, I think as long as it's in around the same location, it should be fine. I won't be doing much driving in this car. It will be my daily for a little bit, but once I get a new car, it'll be my weekend car, so I'm not too worried about crazy safety essentials. As long as they're in the same location, I figured it should be fine. After all, the entire floor pan design from frames, all the entire floor pan is exactly the same as 93 or 92 to 2007. It's exactly the same. Nothing changed, just different mounting points for certain things like the airbag. They just changed the design. But for the most part, everything else literally bolts right up perfectly. There's no modifications, nothing like that needed. So that's what's making this swap so easy, so nice. So overall, I'm about a week into this entire swap. And that's everything from, well, the last thing I haven't done is the rear subframe, and then I just have little wiring to do. So I have to splice the wiring for the taillights, headlights, blinkers, and doors. So what I'm doing for the doors, actually, I'm not using the factory switches. I'm not using these. I'm actually going to be using the Wrx ones, and the way that I'm doing that right now is this is exactly what I'm in the middle of. So this is the Wrx harness. I removed the Impreza harness. So all you have to do, if you have a facelift model, or I think that's 97 or 98 and older, which is the facelift models, wiring is incredibly easy. All you have to do is splice this plug, this is the lock actuator, into the original harness, because the plugs are just different. You use the same plug for the switches. So this is for switches, this is for switches, this is for your tweeter. The motor harness to roll the window up and down is exactly the same. It plugs right in. There's no splicing for that. And then the mirror harness, it's the same thing. It's splicing it. This one has 3 wires as well as this, so it's literally just matching them up, and then you can utilize your factory controls for the mirrors. And it's actually pretty simple. Like I said, it's just splicing. This is the only thing you have to splice. So mirrors and the lock actuator, and you do that on both sides. I'll actually be doing it on that side. I won't really show a lot because I kind of use my phone to play music, but I will try to film as much as I can. It's really hard. This is why I haven't started the YouTube channel, because I just fucking suck at filming, but we'll try it anyway. Yeah, it's a lot of work. The last thing that I have to do as far as fabrication wise is make a bracket for the drive-by wire pedal assembly. So one bolt does bolt up, which is this one right here, but this bottom one doesn't have anything to line up to, so I'm just gonna make one big square bracket, or use a piece of sheet metal, make a square out of it, mount the corner, and then make a second mounting point somewhere up there, which will probably be most likely where the second mounting point for the other pedal was, and then I'll drill a hole and just put a bolt and a nut behind it. But pedals bolted up. These are from the 06 as well. That's the clutch, brake. So you can see, all the dash stuff bolts up. This is the 06 e-brake handle. It all bolts up. Literally all this stuff is in the exact same location as it was in the Wrx. Shifter location, HVAC controls, all that good shit. So I will keep you guys updated as I go. I'll try to finish the door wiring. I may or may not show it in today's video on how it actually works, but I will show it eventually. We'll find out. But yeah, so we'll see you guys on the next update, which shouldn't be too long. So okay, quick little update before I go back inside. So I got the carpet back in, and I got all the center console back in. There's only one little issue. This is sitting, so this whole console here is sitting just a hair too far forward. So when I put the shift bezel and the plastics that go on the side, they kind of are buckling a little bit because they're not, the space that's they need to go in is too short because the center of the dash bar is sticking out a little far. So whenever I take the center console back out for the e-brake stuff, because I still have to wrap the e-brake stuff, I'm going to go ahead and cut the tabs on the bottom, and I'll show you guys how I do that, and push the bars forward so that way the center of the dash actually goes further in, so then everything fits literally perfect, so I'm not forcing it in. But for the most part, everything fits really well. And up top, I'm gonna keep my factory clock up there, and I'm gonna put 2 more pods. One's gonna be oil pressure, oil temps, and then boost. I feel like those are the most important out of everything. But and then I got all the wiring for the doors in that card as well, so all it is splicing, and I'm gonna do that tomorrow. It's getting kind of late, so I'm just buttoning up right now, cleaning up, and yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. And today is the next day, so I am trying to get the freaking garage warmed up right now. It's snowing like crazy outside, but so today I'm going to be putting the rear subframe on, or tonight should I say. It's like almost 9 o'clock, but I'm gonna be putting the rear subframe in, drive line, everything, bolting that completely up, and then taking apart the center console, and I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna refit the center of the dash bar, because it was pushed forward just a tiny bit and it's making things fit different. So yeah, I'm gonna take that apart, show you guys kind of what I'm gonna do to make that fit a little better, and then the inside should be done. I'm gonna probably splice the wires for the doors in, so I'll show you guys how I do that, and then tomorrow I'll throw a battery in and test everything out and make sure it's all working. But for now, let's do all the mechanical stuff, and yeah, I'll show you guys once I'm finished. Okay, so I just finished installing the rear subframe, the complete rear subframe. It wasn't too bad, it's just very tedious because there's a lot of things compared to like the front subframe. So I'll show you guys how you take out and remove the front subframe. It's really easy. So up front, I just have this holding up right now. So up front, there is 2 bolts for the lower control arm, one underneath and one right here. Then you have 2 mounting bolts for the actual subframe, one here and one here. And it goes for both sides. So the bolts run through here. You can use the OEM from the GC. You don't need to use the bolts that go to the actual WRX. And then yeah, same thing on this side. And that is literally it for the front subframe. Like, it's that simple. It's not hard at all. Obviously the hardest part is just getting the axles to go in. They're not in all the way right now. I just slid them in so I can, you know, make sure the angles are right. And then obviously, lastly but not least, is putting the steering shaft connector in there. So a lot of people have said that it doesn't fit or it's too long or whatever, but mine actually fit perfect. Like, no modifications needed at all. It just bolts right in. And I literally had to mod it, or I didn't have to mod it at all. Transmission, it's literally as simple as the pitch mount that goes up front. Obviously put the transmission in first because it sits above the crossmember, and then all it is on the bottom is, let's see if I can get under here, is 2 bolts. So 4 bolts for the rear crossmember here. This bolt here is for the auto crossmember, but for the manual one, it's just 4 bolts, one here, and then opposite side. And then there's another piece up front here. You can't really, kind of hard to see, but that bolts in. It's just 1 bolt on each side, and the trans is in. Now for the rear subframe, it's a lot more complicated. There's a couple more mountings for the different arms and stuff. So you'll have your two mounting points for the subframe on both sides, and then you'll have the two bolts for the sway bar. Just take the whole thing out. Don't unbolt it from, you know, this. Just take the whole bracket with it because it bolts right in. And then underneath this arm braces right here. It's kind of really hard to see because it's dark, but there's a brace right here, one bolt that goes to the frame, and then these two side supporting bolts. And then for the diff cradle, actually that is the diff cradle, just kidding. Sorry, so that's the diff cradle. Diff cradle goes in, bolts up one right here, and then two on the side. And for this lower arm, man, I wish I had a light in here. There is another mount right here, and it's 3 bolts, and then the whole subframe comes out. And then obviously all I have left to do is put the drive shaft in, but that's no big deal. And then as well as these e-brake cables go up. There's a couple mounting points on the frame or on the body of the car, and then they go up into the car. And I'm going to be doing that in the morning because it's getting kind of late. It's almost 11 o'clock right now, and I like my sleep. So in the morning, I'm going to take this whole thing apart in the center console, pull the carpet up, route the e-brakes in there, adjust the handle, cable, all that good stuff, and then I'll throw this all back in, make little adjustments. But for the most part, it's pretty simple. That's the whole drivetrain. The entire 2006, from 2002 to 2007 WRX bolts straight into any GC chassis. 0 mods needed at all. Like it's really nice. I got the 2006 because it comes with the 2 pots in the rear and it comes with the 4 pot in the front. Obviously I just like it because, I mean, you get the cool bigger brakes. There's 4 pistons. Servicing the brakes is so much easier. You just take this part out and the 2 pads come right out, and you put them back in, put this plate back in, and that's literally that easy. Now also tomorrow I'm gonna experiment on something that I'm not too sure about, but I actually have some spare steel braided lines from Nissan S13. And I'm gonna see if these bolt up to the front. It looks like they're the exact same. So if they are, then cool. I just got some S13 steel braided lines for the front, and that'll improve my braking just a tiny bit more. It's just for feel, really. But yeah, I have the block right here just chilling. This is waiting for gaskets. I have to go pick up the heads, reassemble the heads, and throw that all together. I have all the intake manifold. Literally the entire engine is chilling there, over there, and in that box right there. So it's just a matter of assembling everything and throwing it in, and then I have to order coilovers still. Have to go pick up my wheels, and I think for now I'm going to actually make door cards for this, just using ABS plastic. Just make some cool like rally style ones, and then but I'll show you guys what I'm doing right now. While that's in, I actually took the 06 Wrx switch panel out because I'm still utilizing the 06 switches, so hopefully I can make that work. And then yeah, we'll finish this car up. I'll be doing little details, but for the most part, make sure you guys subscribe and like, and let me know what you guys think. These are my first videos I'm ever putting out, so hopefully they're good enough for the YouTube. I don't even know, for the world. But it don't matter. I'm still gonna put them out anyways. You can make all the negative comments you want. I really don't care. But if you guys want to see this project go a little bit faster, it would really help if you spread the word of my videos getting up. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that good stuff, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.